Hello, 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 and welcome to the new mobile art studio. Oh, mystery. We are so happy that you are taking time out of your week to join us. Thank you so much. And thanks to the folks who are going to be watching it once it's archived as well. You matter too. My name's Mary Cronert, and this is the new Living Room Community Art Studio. We're so excited to finally be in a place where we can share this with you and reveal it. And we're going to try not to take too much of your time. But for us, it's important to begin with this. We'd like to acknowledge the lands and people of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nations. This studio sits on the land covered by the Williams Treaties and is the traditional territories of the Mississaugas that are a branch of the Anishinaabe Nation at large, which includes also Algonquin, it includes Ojibwe, it includes Ottawa and Potawatomi, and of course there are so many other indigenous peoples living on this land that have been taking care of it long before the time of settlers and continue to take care of it to this day. It's important for us to recognize this because the histories of these lands have been corrupted by unjust processes of colonization and white supremacy that continue to hurt our Indigenous friends and colleagues to this day. So it's overwhelming, and sometimes there's not a whole lot you think you can do, but for the living room, we want to commit. One small thing we can do is commit to unsettling these processes and practices within ourselves every day, as often as possible, whenever it comes up, so that we can learn to become better allies and hopefully learn, grow, create, move towards a place where healing and reconciliation is possible. Now, the living room is just one small organization in this. However, the communities we work with are mighty, and we know that working together, we can play a role in this and creating a better future for everyone here. And we'll keep one another accountable along the way. So remember that too, okay? We're only human and we can only do so much in any given day, but we will do our best and we will do better moving forward. And hopefully this project here, this mobile art studio, can play a small part on that journey as we move forward. I am so excited. This is so the reason why we're here. The Ontario Trillium Foundation helped us to create this really extraordinary thing. You're going to be hearing a little bit more about them as we move forward, because first what we would like to do is show you a little movie that we've created to introduce the studio, and there might be some familiar faces in there that you can catch up with along the way. And then following the video, which is about 15 minutes, what we're going to do then is have time for a Q&A. Now, people may not be interested, but if you are, I will be here and I will answer some of your questions, all of your questions, doing my best to keep up with the little live stream chat that's going on YouTube. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to that video. Enjoy! Hello everyone, welcome to the reveal of our mobile art studio. Now, let's go back a little bit to the beginning of the story. In early 2020, we decided to close or let go of our rented storefront studio space, the original home of the Living Room Community Art Studio. We moved as much stuff into storage as we could. We took as much programming online for our community as we were able to, and applied for a grant from the Ontario Trillium Foundation to help us reimagine the Living Room Community Art Studio and how we could support our community more effectively. With their support, we bought a bus and began the process of converting it into a mobile art hive and place-making machine on wheels. Remember what it looked like? Yeah, it's okay. It's a bus. But now, introducing your new mobile art hive. Converted from a 2009 Chevy short bus, we worked with some amazing people to make a few changes so that we can bring the studio to you in your community, wherever you might be. Now, we knew that we couldn't fit people on the bus to make art inside, so we decided to go with this whole food truck metaphor thing and make it fun, except instead of selling tacos, we'll be sharing free arts experiences, art kits, supplies, workshops, all of the things wherever you are. So some of the changes that we've made, well, you can see we've introduced these amazing counters that pop up and secure in place so that we can set workshop kits on and supplies on for folks. People can even pull up a stool to work at these counters when things are a bit quieter. And of course we have this counter that's a little higher at a more of a traditional food truck kind of height. But we knew that wasn't going to be accessible for everyone. So we made sure to have this lower counter installed as well. You're going to notice that there are electrical outlets by each counter. There's one right here too. And what this means is that we'll be able to plug in to use some supplies that we always used to use at the studio. So glue guns, wood burners, sewing machines, amplifiers, anything to help you make the art the way you want to. And we've got some really cool batteries inside that mean we don't have to plug into a generator to get that power, which is just really awesome. Now, we didn't want to cut a big hole in the side of the vehicle, so we decided to work with the windows that were already here and source some new bus windows, some emergency bus windows. All of them pop up and secure in place with these cool little braces. Above these windows, you'll see this big metal plate. That is where the awning is going to go. We have a big awning on order. It's just not here yet because of the pandemic, so we're still experiencing some delays and surprises along the way. But when it does come, it's going to be this beautiful thing that will be able to provide a little bit of shade covering for anyone who works with us outside in front of the bus. It's also had a lovely new fresh coat of Baffin blue paint, which is gorgeous. But it's not as colorful as you might think a mobile art hive should be. We didn't want to do any additional painting because of, well, winter time. So we're going to wait till the spring or summer to get started and add a little bit more decoration to the outside of the bus so that you'll see us when we're coming. So there's still some work to do, as you can see, but for now, it's pretty awesome and we can't wait to get it out there. But enough about the outside of the vehicle. Do you want to see the inside of the mobile art hive? Come on, I'll show you. So welcome to the inside of the mobile art hive. Now, as you can see, it's been through quite a transformation since when it was just a bus to now. We've had new flooring installed, storage and electrics installed. Basically, there's enough space for our staff and volunteers to move around comfortably and safely so that we can get you the materials you need to do what you want to do creatively. And it was really important to us that we have as many supplies as possible on this vehicle. So there's a little bit of everything that you would have found in the old studio space, from yarn to markers and pencil crayons, pencils, paper, paint, scissors, twigs, stones, pom-poms, buttons, anything you can imagine. If you're looking for something or hoping we have something, all you have to do is ask and we'll get it for you so that you can create whatever it is you want to create. Of course, the Mobile Art Studio and Art Hive life in general isn't just about the things we make with one another, but it's about the experiences we create and how we come together to do that. So it was really important for us that we had enough space in the Mobile Art Hive to haul around things like tables and chairs and exhibit grids or backdrops, big projects, quilting frames, things that we can pull out and set up outside of the studio to create space and place make around the Mobile Art Hive and make it really exciting. And of course, one of the things that might help with that is the batteries that we have here. So let me just give you a little peek at what those look like. Having batteries like this was really important to us because we're going to be bringing the studio to you, and we don't know exactly where you'll be, so we don't want to have to rely on plugging into shore power or connecting to a noisy generator. We want to be able to do things where we are with what we have. And having these means that we can do really fun things like host open mic nights, or maybe even have film festivals, or just simply have some lights on so that folks can work on their art at nighttime. And there's a sink. We had a pump sink installed so that we can clean up and wash our paintbrushes. Always wash your paintbrushes. Another thing I love about this space is the potential to use it as an office and to create content here, to host live streams from here. Of course, this will also be one of the places where we put together your workshop kits. So when we talk about workshop kits, they're kind of like specials of the day for us. You know, you'll always be able to come and ask for the supplies you need and use them, but we're always going to have 2 or 3 free workshop kits available for you. And these kits will be created by local artists and change makers in the community, inspired by a whole bunch of different things, often featuring materials that we happen to have readily available at that time. Seasonal supplies, I suppose. So, for example, got a whole bunch of paint chips that were going to be thrown out but were saved and donated to us. We'll put together a DIY hanging mobile kit with them. It's still early days for the Mobile Art Hive project, so to be honest, we don't know what to expect, but we're excited to find out. So we've taken it out on the road a few times to test it out and to introduce it to some folks out there in the community who have been big champions of the Living Room project right from the very beginning. Today, I'm here with Jennifer French, Oshawa's MPP, to introduce her to the new Mobile Art Hive project, but also to say thank you to Trillium, because they were the folks who helped make this project happen.
I'm very, very pleased to be here and to thank the Ontario Trillium Foundation for once again investing in Oshawa. This is a really special project, but it is not only what you see here. It has been quite a journey, and we wanted to thank Ontario Trillium Foundation for seeing the potential all the way along and the need for creative resilience here in Oshawa. So again, thank you on behalf of Oshawa to the Ontario Trillium Foundation. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. So again, it's going to go a long way. Literally, we're going to travel and share that creativity and resilience across the community.
You want to see inside?
Yes, I'm dying to see inside. I have to stand out here. I can peek in the windows.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much for that. That was just graceful.
It was so graceful, wasn't it?
Mayor Carter, thank you so much for joining us and being here for, I guess, kind of the reveal of our Mobile Art Hive.
It is very, very cool. I got to say, it's so good to be able to see you, Mary. And you know what? Your contribution to our community plays such a significant role. Not only what you're doing today, but what you've done in the past. And being able to see the kind of things that you're bringing to our community to lift us up, give hope, tap into people's talents. Well, I'm just so grateful for that. And I know that Trillium has played a really important part in regards to launching this. I know this is an exciting time for you and your team. And I'm just grateful as the mayor of the great city of Oshawa. I just need to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
I won't touch anything. I failed grade 8 art.
You don't?
You don't want to see what I would make. It'd be terrible.
That's a challenge.
Well, I hope it helps to reintegrate people. You know, people are looking for reconnection, and the living room has been such a big part of that in its different forms. You know, this is a different form, but in the same spirit, where people connect and express and figure out what's going on internally and externally. And so I think it's going to be more of that, just in a different container.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you should get yourself a new pair of gloves. Look at, you're missing the poor thing. The whole poor.
So the beauty that I see about this is that you can get people who have never done art and I might see this and say, okay, well, how cool is this? And then they can be exposed to something at that grassroots level, get their feet wet, and then they're off and running. And maybe they come back to you, and maybe you say, well, in your area you can go to this studio or you can go here, and then all of a sudden you've got the farm system going. So I just see this as planting seeds.
I don't even know where to look.
I know.
I'm so overstimulated right now. Everywhere I look, I see an adventure. It's got the same feel as the living room in a different way. This is a sort of a clean canvas. Like, I can't believe that there's no, you know, there's not pastel ground into the floor, that there isn't paint on the surfaces, that this is shiny and clean and white and hasn't been stickered or painted. So I'm excited to see what this becomes. Like, I saw it when it was empty, so I'm super excited to see it with magic already in it. But once the actual magic starts landing on the floor and the sequins and the sparkles, I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. You've seen our project from the very, very beginning to what it is now. You've seen all the stages. It's another exciting chapter.
Well, and our downtown has loved you, and our downtown has missed you. And I think now to have you portable is going to be really, really awesome.
Do you know what's amazing? What you're able to do and what you're trying to bring to our community does a couple different things. It's obvious about the art aspect or the expression aspect, but people maybe don't understand that some individuals come from very complex places, and the best way to be able to express them is not in words, but in writings, in dance, and in music, and in art itself, illustrating it. And it's a way for people to be able to deal with some of the challenges and hurdles that they're facing in their life. And creating that space for people to have that therapeutic opportunity plays a significant role. So you've done a great job for our community for such a long time. I know this new adventure is going to be a great success, and I'm just excited for you. I'm excited for our community. This is unique, this is innovative, and I got to tell you something. I'm waiting for the warmer weather because I can't wait to have that opportunity.
Thank you, Jen.
I love your vision. Your visions are awesome.
We couldn't have done any of this without the support of you, our community, and the support of the Ontario Trillium Foundation. Because of their Resilient Communities grant, in 2021 alone, we were able to host over 300 hours of online programming, connect community members with artists from all over the world. We were able to transform an old bus into a art hive on wheels and create hundreds of workshop kits to hand out as we move forward. It has been a wild ride, but we're so excited to see what happens next. We're just at the beginning of this new chapter in the Living Room's adventure, and well, the only thing that's missing is you. We can't wait to get out there with the Mobile Art Hive and create some community with you. See you soon. Ta-da! Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you everyone who's here. Thank you. This is awesome. And I'm just keeping an eye on these comments. Oh, how beautiful is this? It's so great to see so many old, like, regulars from the studio, volunteers and supporters and community members, citizen artists, but also wonderful faces and, well, not faces, names really, of people who are out there perhaps a little bit more abroad. And I think of things like Driftwood Theatre, for example. I think of working with schools and organizations and programs that are maybe beyond Oshawa's borders. And I'm so excited. We can bring the studio to you now. We can travel around. We can have outdoor theater. Henry, I saw that comment. We can do, we can do so many amazing things now. And we don't know what this project is now capable of. What I do know is that I'm happy to have you folks along the way, like just walking alongside of us or driving alongside of us on this journey. Yeah, I want to get to the Q&A for folks who are interested or have questions. If no one has questions, that's okay too. I'm going, oh wow, you guys, oh, people, my heart. Yep, I'm seeing beautiful comment from Monica there saying art hives have no borders. So happy for the mobile art hive. Well, thank you. And I think now is as good as time as ever to just an extra thanks to everyone who has helped us make this happen. So yes, the Ontario Trillium Foundation that is always a fantastic supporter of projects that sometimes slip between the cracks of various funding silos. They've been here for us in times when no one else has been able to be here for us. So thank you so much for enabling this, and who knows what the next years will bring. I also want to thank Peter and the folks at PK Welding and Fabrication who, working with us oddball artists who brought this project to them that I'm sure initially they wanted to say no to, but they've made this happen. And I think they're as much in love with this vehicle as we are, so thank you. Thank you to Jean Kerr at Quality East Collision for painting it. Thank you to Dave Barr at WB White for ensuring it. That journey was a really intense one, and all of these people along the way have been champions for the Living Room Project. And sometimes it's been a bit of like, they fought for us. They have advocated for us. So there is a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot to be hopeful for, to know that we're not alone in this endeavor, right? And I never thought we were. So I got to thank all the other art hives out there as well. And I know I made a post earlier today. I'd like to give a shout out to one of the projects that inspired us, which I think was an art hive before art hives existed, which was the Barrio Mobile Art Studio from the folks at Self-Help Arts out in LA. They've been doing this since the 70s, the early 70s, and their mobile art hive was built in 1974. And knowing that that had existed, knowing that they were doing this work, let us know in the early days, especially when people were saying that it was nuts, it let us know that it wasn't, that we could do it. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, so questions, on to the questions. So we have, hi Brandon, saying, if you could tell them, if you could tell the Mary at the start of the bus project one thing, yeah, what would it be? That's a good question. That's a good question. It's, you know what? It's the same thing I have to tell Mary every single day, every step of the way. It's to be patient, to trust in the process, and things, whether they happen really quickly or happen more slowly, they're taking the path they need to take. And this was one of those projects, because we were hoping to have this bus project up and running at the beginning of last summer, right? And then pandemic delays, and this part isn't available, and this vehicle is suddenly not an option, and all of those things, just pursuing the right intentions, I think, staying true to what the living room is about and what the community does for us and wants, has asked us for, enabled us to stay on track, and wonderful things happened along the way. Like, this was going to be originally a step van that we cut a hole in the side of. I am so glad now that step vans were not available, because we found this really awesome bus, and it is quirky and fun, and there's a light. That's something that I need. So I appreciate it a whole lot more. So things take time, and I've just got to learn how to be patient. And oh, lovely. Hello, everyone. Hello, Beth. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Tabitha. Oh, okay. So Tabitha is asking, have to know, how are those batteries charged, and how much output will you get from them? Asking for a friend. Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask this question, and of course it's you. So I have my handy dandy little cheat sheet here from Peter at PK. Yeah, because you noticed I showed the batteries, but I didn't really talk about them a whole lot, because the truth is, folks, I don't know much about batteries. I don't know much about vehicles, but I'm becoming one of those people who might show up at AutoFest in a few summers' time. So give me some time. So why don't I tell you about the batteries? Let's see if I can find them here. Peter was so great. He created this handy dandy little like resource for me, above and beyond, right? Every step of the way, they've answered my questions, been patient with me, and helped me know what I need to know. So I can email this to folks and I can print it after, but let's see. Oh my goodness, does it not have the information of what they actually are? I can tell you how to use them, but I don't think I can tell you what they are. Oh no, fail on Mary's part. Tabitha, I think I have to, oh, well, I know they plug in. So basically, yes, Anthony's reminding me the basics of how these batteries operate. I can't tell you what batteries they are or necessarily how much voltage we have, but what I do know is, yeah, we have this wonderful pack of batteries that we can charge by plugging them in anywhere. So we can plug them into the side of our house, and that was a real Canadian house. And that enables us to keep everything going. Once the bus is fully charged and it's holding power really, really well, as far as we know, we have about 3 hours of 3 to 4 hours, depending on what like tools we're using on site, of power. And once it runs down, what we can do is turn the vehicle on and switch it to charge, and then we can kind of recharge that process and the batteries can charge up again.
There's also like an upgraded super duper alternator.
So if you can hear that from Anthony, one of the things that helps us do this is a really awesome alternator that we've had installed as well. So these little pieces around the bus that have helped just make it more manageable and more independent. We're still going to plug into shore power where we're at organizations for events where we can, but in the meantime, we know we have like a nice chunk of time, and we're going to test that out because we still don't know. I think one of the things we need to do is have an event where we actually drain the batteries and learn how much power we have. And that might come from, a glue gun festival, who knows? We know that there are certain things we have to be wary of, and heat is one of those things, obviously. So we've got to figure that out as we go. Sorry for that long-winded, weird answer. But I can get you the details if you need it about the batteries. Damn, I knew someone was going to ask. Darn it. Oh, hello. Hi, Sid. How's it going? Sid says, what's your favorite innovation to the van to make it an art space friendly? Oh my goodness. There's so much. I think obviously the sink is a very cool thing. We need to be able to wash stuff and prep things. And this was just a little sweet add-on that we could have left out and just like hauled around jugs of water and things like that. But that was important. What makes it an art-friendly space for me? Personally, I want to spend time on here, like on the vehicle, in the studio. One of the things is just the light. It's not necessarily an innovation, but in the summertime when we can open up those windows and maybe even the back door and have, just that air circulating and feel that kind of nature moving into the space a little bit more, that helps me feel a lot more creative. I think just having this space, like it's, I'm still just in love with it. And I know as well that it's going to change and evolve with us. So the more time we spend in here and use it, the more we'll realize, okay, this doesn't work so well for this purpose, and we need this new innovation that we didn't think of before. And piece by piece we'll adapt, and it will evolve to, become more user-friendly to us and to the artists in the community. But yeah, it's cool. Kim, hi Kim. So Kim, everybody, is also a mobile art hive person. This is great. So Kim says, I see the thick black rubber thing holding the large totes in, let's see, what is the smaller diameter black cord on the top shelf? What is this here? Like, let's see, what's that? The large totes in. So these guys over here, the cords on the top shelf, these are, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but if it's this kind of stuff, we have bungee cords that are keeping things on the shelf. Another great tool that we have going on, curtain rods, tension rods that you use for curtains. They are fantastic. They are,
Aiming at the curtain.
oh, okay. Yeah, they're great for keeping things just fixed and stuck, and even having, like, we're hanging a giant roll of paper up there that's pretty heavy and it's doing the job. Yeah, there's a lot of bungee cords in this vehicle. There's a lot of magnets, some like rare earth magnets holding a lot of stuff up, tension rods And I think, again, this is one thing we're going to learn as we move around on different kinds of roads and different kinds of venues where we're missing those things. There's already been one, what does Margaret call it again? A crapalanche? There's been one crapalanche when we were moving the bus around. And every time one of those things happens, just like in our old studio space, we learn, we adapt, we grow, we try something new. So let's see, Laura saying, hi Laura, saying, do you have an event or anything coming up to be excited about? Why, yes, Laura Shaw, we do. It will be our last event of the season and pretty much the big first outing for the living room. We've done some work at local colleges and universities, kind of piloting this out, seeing how we engage with community, because it is a little bit like starting from scratch in that sense of learning how to engage and how to place make, especially during a pandemic when there's been a lot of ruptures in the community. And I think each one of us feels differently about how we engage and who we engage and when and why. But the next big event we have, I'm super excited about this. We will actually be supporting one of the most fantastic organizations that Oshawa has, and that will be the Backdoor Mission. They have a fundraiser coming up on the 22nd. It's a big street party. They've closed off Bagot Street, and the Professors of Funk will be playing there, and we will be there with the Mobile Art Studio. We will be decorating ornaments with people. We will be handing out free workshop kits and just, taking advantage of a little bit of festive loveliness into everyone's lives while supporting a fantastic organization that helps those most vulnerable in our communities and has become a model of how to do that for others in Durham region and beyond with the Mission United project. So if you don't know about that, you gotta visit the Backdoor Mission website and find out, and better yet, buy a ticket to their fundraiser and support them. Yeah? Okay, so that's the 22nd. Let's see, Kim saying, Kim saying, P.S. ouch, because we did get a step van. It is so much darker than your beautiful bus. You know what? There are so many things you can do, though. It's really finding the people to help you convert it and learning about what you need. So there were some trade-offs in getting a bus. For example, we don't have as much room for storage as you will in a step van. You can create, if you like, a big, beautiful window that opens up. You can have the back doors as well and things extending from the step van, whereas we have a narrower door with windows on either side. So we lost a little bit of that kind of mobility, that kind of adaptability through choosing a bus in the end. Step vans, you can do a lot more to them with a lot less worry because essentially it is just a nice big box. So you can have lots of fun with that and have a full wall of supplies if you want. You can put in skylights. There's so much you can do, right? It's about finding something that works for you. So no, I wasn't throwing shade at the step van world. I wasn't, I promise. And your mobile art hive is going to be amazing. If you want to throw the name of the hive in the link there, please do. It would be nice other folks can keep an eye out for it. All right, so let's see. Yes, hi, Laura. And let's see. And that's it exactly, Kim. Like, I feel like there's some, when it comes to placemaking and mobile art hive work, there's still a lot to learn and a lot to grow. And it's good to know that we're not the only ones out there. We're going to be learning and growing together. So thank you. And, oh, oh, wow, this is lovely. Hi, Vanessa. Beth again saying, remember glass baby food jars and the lid was screwed in the bottom of the shelf? Beth, that's what we have here. So again, because we didn't end up with a step van and storage, we had to do some more like different and interesting things. We decided to go with this jar idea, and that's exactly it. It's just a fun way to, let's see if I can unscrew something here. There we go. Action shot. Right? And we only have 5 jars up there right now, but trust me, when you come back to us maybe in a year, I'm imagining we might have like jars screwed into every surface we can possibly screw them into. So all those little bits and pieces that we had at the studio that were difficult to store, this is actually like a really great way for us to store them, and I wish we'd done it at the old art hive. And let's see, Deb saying, what's something funny that happened along the way? Hi, Deb. Funny. Funny? Oh my gosh. Every day funny. I'm trying, which one? Anthony has a, Oh no, you can't tell that story. Oh man. Okay. And thank you to Anthony Granny also, the invisible kind of begrudging partner of the living room, supporter of the living room, all things living room. And anytime you see something going right with content creation or camera work or live streaming, it's because of him, because he's awesome. But yes, okay, one thing that's funny that happened along the way. So driving a bus is a really interesting experience, and I may have just sort of driven it into part of my house the very first day we had it back. Maybe. Allegedly. It may not have happened. It may not have happened. But the worst thing was because it was parking, and Anthony had said, do you have enough room? And I'd said, oh yeah, I've got plenty. And I just ran into the tiles on the side of my house. But since then, it's been great. Insurance company, it's been fantastic. Everything's fine here. How are you? Okay, let's see. And Sid asking, this is a really good question. Have you made any art in the van yet? Not really. At our last event, we just began getting to the stage where it was more than handing out workshop kits, and this beautiful little thing was beginning to happen where people on campus were coming to us and asking, hey, do you have this? Do you have knitting needles? Do you have any of this? I was wondering if I heard about this. And we were beginning to, that lovely, wonderful, creative thing was beginning to happen here in the same way it used to happen at the studio. People recognizing that it wasn't just about this customer service exchange, that it was us as a resource, us as a partner in their creative enterprises. So we were beginning to get to that stage, and I can't wait. Yeah, you might find me here in the new year with my parka on, making some art, because it does feel like a really bright and inspiring space to be in. And I'm hoping that this will become one of our other content creation studios. So, you know, if you've been watching any of our live stream workshops or pop-up art studios that have been happening over the last year, they've been done from like a little room in our house. But I'm hoping now that we can transfer some of that creation out to the bus as well, and just to mix it up a little bit. So there'll be more of that in the future, Sid, I promise. And let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, what happened here? Oh, Jen. Hi, Jen. Jen's saying, sorry if I missed this, but is this the only place to find the Living Room Community Art Studio now? Good question. So we closed our studio space that was at 149 Simcoe Street South. So we no longer have a storefront location for the Art Hive. And that was a difficult decision that came out of having to deal with the pandemic, but also, if I'm honest, recognizing that we had to rethink what sustainability looked like for the Living Room project. And this has become a way for us to approach things differently from a financial perspective as well. Also, the pandemic, if you can imagine being in that space now with limitations and mask wearing, and just how we engaged in that physical space would have changed so much. And it wasn't, I just don't think it was what we ever would have envisioned. No one had envisioned the pandemic coming. So, but the living room would not have been the same, and it maybe would not have been the same in not a good way, if that makes sense. So this is the Living Room Community Art Studio now. We can bring it to you. And we also we will be continuing in the new year with some virtual programming as well. So we do fee-for-service programming for organizations that want to invite us out to do things like Zooms or different presentations for their and with their communities. We'll also continue to have some free programming on YouTube, perhaps on Facebook, wherever we can. We will, because that is our true goal, is to reduce those barriers, the barriers that prevent people from recognizing their own creative agency and becoming change makers in their communities. And we want to become a platform for people to speak, to be seen, to be heard. We want to amplify those voices that perhaps have not had opportunities to voice their experiences. So let us know. Reach out if you're interested in having us come on out and do something with you with the bus or virtually. Okay. Kim saying, oh, interesting. Oh, this is great. Okay, so Kim's sharing Community Art Studio of Stevenson. That's your mobile art hive, folks. Keep an eye out for that. One day we're going to have a giant road trip, not this year, but one day, where we get all the mobile art hives together. Can you imagine? And some mobile theater companies. Oh, it's going to be awesome. So some love for the jars. And Beth asking who will be the driver. Do you need a special license for its size? That was one thing that we were very specific about when we were purchasing a vehicle. We wanted it to be under the size and weight required to have a special license. So this does not require a special license. And yeah, I can do it. I had to learn, I had to practice a whole lot, but I'm in the groove now. It's awesome. And Kathleen asking, hello Kathleen. Kathleen Finley asking, did you conceptualize this design and layout? Because it is truly a work of art. So for us right now, no, sorry, like looking back over this. So this is a collaboration. I think that's the best way to describe it. I had a general idea of what I wanted, a magic wand idea that we took to the folks at PK Welding and Fabrication. And very quickly and kindly, they were able to tell us this and this and this and this and this and this, not possible. They were just things that would interfere with the structural integrity of the vehicle, and at times they might just be way, way beyond our budget. So they worked with what we had and found a way to, it's kind of like a happy medium between what we were originally hoping and like and wanting and what it is now. And they made it better. I think their experience working with vehicles, experience that we did not have at the living room, they were able to design things and suggest things that they intuitively knew would be more effective for us moving around. Even simple things like making this counter a whole lot thicker when we were initially thinking, well, maybe let's make it thin. And they were able to say, well, no, you know why? Because you're going to end up sitting on this counter a whole lot when you're moving around throughout the day. You won't mean to, but it will just happen because that's how human beings do. And it's true. I end up sitting on this counter all the time, not that one. So that one was okay to be thin. So it was like a collaboration between us and the team they have there. I'm sure with Peter leading the way, who's also an extraordinary artist. I recently learned, a beautiful painter. Imagine that. Artists are everywhere. Okay, let's see. And Kim asking another golden question, what is our gas mileage? I don't know yet because we haven't really had a chance to zip it around with the weather and the pandemic and just how things have unfolded. We haven't drained the tank yet, I guess, but I'll keep you posted. Keep you posted. I think maybe down the road there will be another video about the nuts and bolts of the vehicle stuff, the schooly stuff. But for now I don't know enough about that to tell anybody anything, but we will one day. And let's see, thank you. Oh, wow, Sophia, hello, thank you. Thank you. And Yafa, oh, lovely. Hello, Yafa. So Yafa says, when are you planning to come to Cornwall? Okay, so I hope soon. Maybe not this winter, but we can. This year there might be opportunities to move around not only Durham region but the GTA and beyond. So Cornwall and the Cornwall Art Hive are definitely in my mind. We would love one day to move, like to drive out of province, but for this year, just working with insurance, we're going to keep it in province and probably like closer to home. We just want to feel it out, ease into this process, and then work as we go to, expand that. And one day, who knows, maybe a cross Canada Art Hive project. Maybe working with resident artists all along the way. Who knows? They can take over the bus while we're in their towns or cities. That would be kind of cool. And so Van Gogh is a question from Henry. Oh, no. Ask no. Okay. Monica saying, hello, Monica saying, so when will it be the first art hive? On the bus? Any dates yet? So, we have, if this is about art hives, like in the community, engaging with the community, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know. We've done a few so far, just getting out there, small bits and pieces with colleges, universities. However, we do have one event coming up on the 22nd with the Backdoor Mission at their fundraiser on December 22nd. So check that out if you're around. And we will keep on figuring out ways to collaborate. And the Art Hive community is such a beautiful one. I'm sure, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this, so that we can have this out there, and now other art hives can also begin, percolating those ideas. And I'm sure we're going to come up with lots of amazing things we can do together and collaborate on. Okay, let's see. What time is it? It's 7:45. So just a heads up, I think, we'll wrap up around 8. That feels, if not earlier. I don't want to force people to stay on and ask questions, and there will be other opportunities to learn more about this project as I learn about this project. But just a heads up, let's see. So Sid's asking, this is also a good question. What is the best method of donation to the living room going forwards, both monetary and material? So we moved everything material into a storage space. We have a lot of lovely materials right now. We're very, very lucky. We always love donations, though. That's part of that sharing economy. So you know what? I'd say the best thing to do right now is email us and ask. If you have a material donation that you'd like to contribute, let us know. If we have the space and the capacity to take it on, if we have a community we can immediately get it out there and share it with, we will. But email first, just in case. I'm imagining that by the time the summer rolls around again and we have more opportunities to be out there and sharing and distributing supplies, using supplies, that there'll be lots of opportunities to replenish and start taking donations in a major way again. And we might use the events we do in community to help with that. Monetary donations, of course, thank you. Always welcome. And this is a year we're moving into where we do not have funding for programming. So there's going to be a lot of volunteer work coming back around, which of course is something, when we're in love with the work we do with community, it's not half bad. However, that being said, people can donate to the Living Room Community Art Studio at Canada Helps. So I think you'll find, maybe not, I'll put a link in the video afterwards. I might have forgotten on this video, but you can donate on Canada Helps. You can also become a supporter on Patreon. And although we're going to be shifting up, both our website and our Patreon page don't truly reflect where we're at right now as a project, so look for some changes on those platforms coming your way soon. But the folks who've been contributing and supporting us on Canada Helps and on Patreon are huge, like one of the main reasons why we're still able to do what we're doing, like especially in that first year of the pandemic. Without those people, I don't know where we'd be right now. So thank you for that. And let's see. And of course, we will probably be having some kind of donation jug or jar with the Mobile Art Hive, same as we used to in the old Art Hive as well. So there'll be opportunities to contribute in that way as well. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, see, there's fantastic ideas coming in here. There's never a shortage of ideas. And I'm loving this. See, this is why we do this, because people get excited about different things, like Beth and the molds in the water, and I'm seeing ice sculptures. We can do a lot more work and activities now with nature as well, which was something that wasn't very possible with the old studio all the time. And Kim saying, yay for a road trip. Yes, yes, yes. And Beth asking, any charity auctions in our future? So as far as fundraisers go, yeah, probably. Beth Carpenter was one of the contributors donating beautiful works of art to our fundraisers in years past. And we haven't had an opportunity to do one of those in the last couple of years. In the summertime, one of the projects we're looking at, because of a beautiful donation of canvases that we received, we're looking forward to kind of a big art project with the community, a traveling art exhibit. So not yet, but keep an eye out for that coming your way soon, okay? We will come back to more things like that in the future, I promise, because it was great and fun to see everyone's art and to celebrate the creativity that's out there in the world. And, oh, so heating, air conditioning, no air conditioning, windows are the air conditioning, and heat, no, not really. Like even now being out here, it's not that cold outside right now, but it's fairly comfortable. I think it's just, layering up for the colder weather. And we have the heater that was with the bus that does a pretty good job. We just turn it on for a few minutes if it gets really, really cold, and then we're okay. And I'm seeing some Newfoundland, Deb, you know, we're thinking of, yeah, if we could do a coast to coast. Let's start writing the grants now, Art Hive people. Let's get on that. Let's figure that out. And Kathleen saying, I guess I will be hanging up my shovel and gloves. No more community garden. So one of the things we can do now, Kathleen, we may not have our own garden space around the vehicle, but in the summertime especially, I do want to see how we can play with things like living walls and plants and growth within the studio, within this mobile art hive. And we want to collaborate with other community gardens that already exist in the community. So there will be opportunities to work on the gardening, because gardening, having that lovely green space, is such an important piece of art hive life. And every art hive manages to somehow find a way to incorporate that into the process. It might take us some time to find out what the right option for us is, but we'll find it too. Don't you worry. It's going to look different, but we're still going to have something. We're still going to figure out how to have some greenery and garden life on the vehicle, in the vehicle, who knows? We'll figure it out. And let's see, Monica saying, will you do any online events from the bus? Since I'm in Boucherville, Momo, hello Momo, thank you. But yes, please come all the way here. We will be doing more online things, and probably I would really love to do some inside the bus as well, Momo. So yes. And as soon as we can get across that border into Quebec, we will. We'll figure out a way to do it. It may not happen this year. As I was mentioning, insurance has been a real challenge, and we're lucky we had someone fighting and advocating for us. But yeah, we want to come to Montreal. And we want to come around into, we want to move everywhere, coast to coast. And Momo saying, I would love to make art with you online at the bus. Okay, we'll do it. We'll figure it out. And Vanessa saying, the bus definitely opens you up to more ways to engage with the community. Oh, thank you. It's fabulous. It's a pretty cool project, isn't it? It's pretty awesome. And we're going to learn all about it as we move forward. What's possible, what's not possible, what works, what's right for this vehicle. We still have to name it. We don't even have a name for it yet, right? So that's something we've got to work on too. And Cora saying, I would love art on the beach in the summertime. Cora, okay, can you imagine? We'll have you, we'll have a little performance. We'll plug in an amp. We'll have you singing. We'll have, oh yeah, that's a really, yeah. Sorry, I'm just taking a moment. Yeah, that's happening. And Bowmanville, you're right. So again, we can move all around. So Bowmanville is not off limits for us. And this is one of the things we're excited about. A lot of community members used to have to come to the living room space. It took a lot of time and energy and effort to travel there, especially for folks who had any mobility issues or any issues just finding the money sometimes to travel to the studio to find gas or to find bus fare. Now we can meet people where they're at. So we can bring the studio to you and learn about your community and learn about how this project can better serve your community, whatever your community looks like, because not all communities are the same. We know that, right? This is the beginning of a process of exploration. It is an adventure. It is, as Sister Karita Kent would say, everything is an experiment. And this is definitely a creative arts experiment with community. Oh, wow. So this is very lovely. So there's a lot of love coming in. Oh, Daniel, thank you. That's lovely. And there's so much loveliness here. And yes, again, Kim says we have a name for our step fan. It came with a label on the dash of Wally. See, when your vehicle comes with a name like that, yeah, I guess you got to listen to it and figure out. But maybe, it's like some animals you adopt, they come with names that don't suit. Anyways, that's another conversation for another time. Maybe that can be another community project where we figure out what the name of this vehicle is. And Sid saying, I would love to see the art van in Pride and Fiesta Week parade celebrations. We can do that now. There's a lot that we can do, and I forget about it sometimes, just the scope of it all. And like every art hive out there, the saying is dream big, start small. I think we will start small, piece by piece, doing what we're familiar with. And as we move forward on this adventure, we will learn what this project and the communities we work with are capable of. And the best place for this project to end up is with us being a resource that they can use, and kind of just decentering us from the project and saying, you use this, you create with this, you make your voices heard in a way that will create positive change for everyone that's here. Wow. Oh, this is lovely. There's so much. I'm just looking in the comments here, and I want to be sensitive to everyone's time. So, oh, Beth, congratulations on being a grandmother. That's amazing. These events like this, live streams, always remind me about how much I miss everyone, and how we don't always have opportunities to connect, even when there is online programming. I miss everyone who's out there, and I'm so, so very grateful for everyone that is out there. And the last 2 years have been difficult, and it felt isolating from time to time, even with the live streams and being in connection virtually with people. But I really am looking forward to getting out there and connecting with people again in person as much as possible, and knowing that in the future there'll be more opportunities to do that across provincial borders, state borders. Who knows where we can take this. Again, same as always, without you, without the community, the living room really isn't much at all. It's just some weird art lady sitting now in a bus talking to herself, sort of. You are what makes this special. You are what makes this project come to life. You are the life that makes the art matter. So thank you. I guess that's really what I want to say, is thank you for being there. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap up now, unless there's any last things. There's some lovely suggestions. Oh, wow. Just lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I miss you all. I thank you for being here and spending time with us tonight. Spread the word. Let us know if you're interested in working with us and having the Mobile Art Hive come out to collaborate with your community. We're here. You can email us at info@livingroomcommunityartstudio.org, or message us through many of the other social platforms we have, the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, all of that stuff. But for now, yeah, how do you wrap up something like this? My adrenaline is pumping. Yes, Anthony Granny?
Like, subscribe, and smash that bell.
Yes, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Living Room channel. You might want to now. That would be great. Like, subscribe, and how did you say it, Anthony?
Smash that bell.
Smash that bell. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But thank you again for being here, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night or your day if you're watching it once it's been archived. We'll connect with you real soon. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the bus.